Hello everybody, Lurks here, welcome to my channel, and today it's how to test car, van or motorcycle fuses with a car blade fuse tester. This means that you don't have to remove the fuses. For this you're just checking the circuit of the fuse, you're not actually checking for 12 volts, so you don't need the ignition on. First thing to do is locate your fuse boxes. Normally there'll be 2, maybe 3 on a car or a van. Before I test them inside the van, I'll just show you how this car blade fuse tester actually works. And it's got the battery built in, it's a sealed unit. Now you've got adjustable pins so you can test different sizes of fuses. There's obviously different sizes, normal fuses, mini fuses. And here's a typical car fuse. And we're going to be testing it on the top here, but just to show you how the car blade fuse tester works, I'm just going to adjust the pins to this size of the fuse and just place it on here just to show that it's got a circuit. And when there's a completed circuit, the LED green light lights up, so that means that fuse is good. Now obviously when the fuse is plugged into your fuse box, you can only test the top, and that's why you've got this exposed metal on the top here. So place the pins onto those connections, and again the green light has come on. If the LED light doesn't come on, it means the fuse is blown. Now you can actually use these to test fuses in your mains plug sockets. This one's got a nice clear glass, so you can actually see whether it's broken. Obviously that one hasn't, but these are normal fuses here, 3 amp one where you can't see. So it's handy to have one of these just around the home anyway, in case your kettle stops working and you can just quickly check the fuse. At the other end of the car blade fuse tester is a fuse removal tool, which is quite handy if your car or van doesn't actually have one. Now let's test some of the fuses. So make sure you get a good connection, and then you can just go one by one testing each fuse. If your fuse has blown, then obviously the LED light will not light up. Then you can remove it and replace it with a similar ampage fuse. Now the only problem I found with this car blade fuse tester is access. It's a bit of a lump, and getting access to some of the fuses if they're in a tricky position is quite difficult. So it may be easier to test them using a multimeter, and there's a link above now about how to do that. If you want to go old school, you can use the back of the car blade fuse tester. Just squeeze it onto the fuse, pull it out, and then what you're doing is you're basically just holding that up to the light. So this one is in good condition, no problems here. But here's one that's actually blown, and you can see it's burnt. This one would obviously need replacing. Now when you're replacing a fuse, make sure that you use the same ampage fuse as the one you took out, and it's written on the top of the fuse. So if you removed a 5 amp fuse, make sure you replace it with the exact same 5 amp fuse. If you're lucky enough to have a fuse removal tool still in your car or van, then you can use that. This basically just pushes onto the back of the fuse. Once it's clipped on, then you just pull it and it pulls the fuse out of the socket. I'll just show you how that works just in front of the seat here. So you're pushing this on, it just clips over the back. Now it's gripped on, and then you just pull it. If you are testing fuses old school and you're just going to be taking them all out, make sure you do it one at a time. Don't take them all out, because you'll never remember where they go back. Remember to put your fuse removal tool back. And a quick tip, if you've got a fuse which keeps blowing, don't replace it with a higher ampage fuse just to try and get round it. Fuses are there for a reason, and they blow to save your car or van catching fire if there's an electrical fault. So you need to try and figure out why the fuse keeps blowing. In the top left hand corner there's a video on how to test fuses using a multimeter. In the top right there's a video on how to test brake lights by yourself. That's really useful if you're taking your car or van to an MOT. And in the bottom left, how to test your car or van battery using a multimeter. Hope that was useful. Time for another brew.